Bienvenidos a Opulent LD TV, desde Saint Paul, Minnesota, directamente a Miami, Florida, trayéndote todo el fuego.
Blessings, tribe. We're here to answer the question that's on everybody's mind. Is New Jersey's finest, Shakur Stevenson, pillow-fisted like everybody's saying? All right, let's get into it. So the answer is no and yes. Now let me explain. Now, when Shakur Stevenson is competing in fights, due to his defensive skills, due to him being elite defensively, Shakur Stevenson doesn't ever really sit down on his punches. So when he's competing, he never really sits down on them. So, yes, if Shakur Stevenson sits down on his punches, he is not pillow-fisted. But again, like I'm explaining here, if he were to commit and sit all the way down on his punches, of course he has some power. Of course it's going to hurt you, right? Now look, there's something that I see when I'm scrolling on X and Twitter that is just so idiotic and dumb. And it's when I see Shakur Stevenson, or even, let me say this, when I see Devin Haney basically challenging civilians to fight. Like, let's use common sense here. A trained professional who punches all day, of course, if you punch a civilian who has no boxing skills at all, has no punch resistance really at all, of course, you're not going to be pillow-fisted to them. Of course, this is common sense. So when I see these guys challenging civilians on Twitter, aka, well, it's really called X, but it's just like, bruh, they know exactly what they're doing when they do this. They know. Like, it's just no comparison. You can't compare a professional boxer's punch to a civilian's punch. This is damn near rule number one. Nah, rule number one is protect yourself at all times. This is probably rule number two to just the boxing game as a whole. Like, you just can't compare a professional boxer's punch to a non-trained civilian's punch, or even their resistance, because they don't train at all. So yes, if Shakur Stevenson punches a civilian, of course it's going to hurt. Of course that civilian is going to be like, nah, you're not pillow-fisted. But due to Shakur Stevenson's defensive skills and eliteness in the ring, he never sits down on his punches. So, yeah, he's damn near pillow-fisted when he's in competition. So, it is what it is as far as that. Now, Shakur Stevenson's biggest mistake was when he apologized for his performance. What he should have did was, hey, I got the win and that's all that matters. Now, him apologizing allow people to just really think they have this power over and just over criticize him. Like, him being this elite boxer. Actually, you know what? I can't even really say he's an elite boxer, because he couldn't take accountability for him not getting Artem over there. He blamed Artem. When, remember, Shakur Stevenson, you're a guy who stands next to legends like Andre Ward. You stand next to legends like Terrence Crawford, who was like your mentor. And Terrence Crawford, I made a grave mistake in my last video by asking the question of, does Shakur Stevenson fight down to his competition like Bud does? And one of my brothers, Dixon, J.A. Dixon, reminded me like, yo, you can't compare him to Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford actually gets those guys out of there. And that's exactly what Shakur Stevenson isn't doing. He isn't getting these C-level fighters out of there. Like, there's no way, him being as elite as he claims, there's no way that he shouldn't have gotten Artem out of there. He was even kept telling his granddad that he was going to get him out of there. And then when his granddad's giving him advice, that boy wants to argue with him. So that boy has oh man, it's crazy, bro. Like, and then you got him out here talking about what he's gonna do to these legends, Mace and Cam. Now look, I'm just gonna reiterate what the three pettiest people in the game is Mace, Cam, and 50. Now, those guys were being nice when they first, spoke on the fight. But Shakur opened a whole nother can of pettiness when he basically crashed out in his response to them. Like, it just wasn't even that deep to go talking about what you're going to do, talking about putting hands on people. Like, come on, bro. Especially when you got that video of you punching that chick and how you literally lost your footing and fell. Like, come on, man. Like, these guys is street certified. Mace and Cam is street certified. And that's just one thing, just as far as just in general, when people get on YouTube and they start talking in street shit, like, you just open up a whole new can of problems. Like, keep it on the internet. If you're going to talk about somebody, just keep it on the internet. And when you talk about putting hands on somebody, then that's when you're going to have a real problem. But hop in my comments and let me know how you feel about what I just said. Again, is Shakur Stevenson pillow-fisted? No and yes. When he's in there fighting competition, he never takes the risk to really sit down on his punches. But of course, if he's fighting a civilian who has no boxing training, of course his punches are going to hurt. It's common sense, y'all. But by no means at 135 is Shakur Stevenson a knockout artist. And like I said in my video, he keeps talking like he's a knockout artist. This is the second time lying to us, telling us that he was going to get a knockout. He didn't get the knockout. So I'm going to leave y'all with this question. If Shakur Stevenson can't knock out C-level Artem, if he can't sit on his punches for C-level Artem, how do we expect him to sit down on his punches for Tank, a true killer? Tank, who has that true power at 135 like Wilder. Like, he's putting cats out of here. He's putting cats out of there. So the analogy, the comparison of Tank's power to Wilder is very warranted. So, yeah, smash my like button, smash my sub button. They both free 99. It's the God, Opulent LDTV, reminding you that when you're in these streets, it's quality over quantity. I'm gone.